dearly beloved. I appreciate all of you gathering here at this moment. My name is Buck McDaniel, and I'm a composer, and I'm happy to be here in support of Outlandish Press, and I'm a big fan of a lot of the work that Kyle publishes, and so I would personally like to invite everyone to give Kyle Osborne a round of applause. Aside from having sort of a personal crush on Kyle, I recently had a big piece happen, a big orchestra piece happen in Washington, D.C., and I had the honor and pleasure and luck of having Kyle sort of produce the sheet music for that production. Anyways, and so tonight I was invited to be here, and I have, because there is not a piano in this building, I had the inspired idea of composing a piece for the very talented composer and harpist, Stephan Haluska, who, if any of you go to anything, I would imagine that you would know who Stephan is, because he and his harp seem to be everywhere to me, that I'm not. And anyways, and so although this is sort of a family affair, I wanted to sort of create a piece that is sort of unique, not just to this building, but to the neighborhood. And so the piece you're about to hear that I've composed for the harp is in 3 parts. And much like a poetry reading, it requires full silence. And it is titled Cudell Suite. And for those of you who may not know, we are in a neighborhood called the Cudell neighborhood. And it is named as such because of the German-American architect Franz Cudell, who moved to the United States in Cleveland in the 19th century, and he changed his name to Frank Cudell, which is very fun. And for those of you who had the misfortune of spending any time in the warehouse district, a lot of the buildings there are of the firm Cudell and Richardson, and to me are very beautiful. But also, if any of you have had the good fortune of spending any time on West 54th Street between Bridge Avenue and Lorraine, there is a church, the Stephan Kirche, known to us as St. Stephen's Church, which is very prominent architecturally, and not many people realize every material in the church and every single artist that worked on it is a German artist. And it was financed by sort of poor German immigrants. And so this piece is simultaneously about sort of the aesthetic of the architect, Frank Cudell, and sort of my own personal intimate experience with the Cudell neighborhood, which we find ourselves in. And I would be remiss not to mention that we are not very far from the location of the brutal murder of Tamir Rice. And although this piece, I will not say, is a purely political piece, it's more of a study of melancholy, I definitely think that my own personal anger about the Tamir Rice situation, the Tamir Rice murder, it permeates the piece. And as someone that lived not far from that happening, I was really angry when people from Mississippi, were like, did you know this terrible thing happened in Cleveland? And I was like, actually happened like really close to where I live. And so the piece is not about this, but it is about it, if that makes sense. And so I will stop talking. And so this piece is it's in 3 parts. It's in 3 parts. And so please, if you feel compelled to applaud, please wait until the 3rd part is over. Thank you.
Thank you.